Yeah, hi there. These comments are for PB, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-Step System to Pass a TOEFL IBT. Yeah, hi there. These comments are for PB, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-Step System to Pass a TOEFL IBT. Wow, you have a very, very high TOEFL score. Let's take a look at your situation. So you say, I'm a security researcher in the process of applying to doctoral programs in computer science. I took the TOEFL after 1 week of preparation, during which I saw some of 7-Step System videos on YouTube. I wanted to thank you for putting them there. You're welcome. And you say, my score is reading 29, listening 27, speaking 30, and you got 30 points on the writing section. So, wow, congratulations. And think of it this way, PB. Right now, this is the holiday season of the year here in the United States, and what a great Christmas gift you can give yourself, the gift of language, and not just language, but you have demonstrated an extremely high level of academic English language proficiency. So at the very end of your comment, you say, let me know if I can help other students in some way. I'd be glad to share some tips. Yes. If you could do this, I do have some questions. What you can do is maybe answer them by video, and then you can send the video to me. Maybe you can upload it somewhere, and then give me the download link. I would be very happy to post your tips at my YouTube channel, and more importantly, I'd like to post your tips at my website for my online TOEFL course, because there's two things that will happen after students listen or read your tips. Number one, it's going to motivate them. It's going to show them that A, it is possible to reach a high score with practice, and then B, you'll share with them some valuable tips that can help them in their preparation along the way. Okay, so here are some of the questions I'd like to ask you right now. So first of all, what is your background before your TOEFL preparation? So you said that you did 1 week preparation. I'm interested in what you did before you started preparing for the TOEFL. So the question would be, what type of English did you study in high school, elementary school? Did you read any books? Did you read magazines? Did you watch TV? Did you try to speak with native speakers on a regular basis? So what was your background? What is your background before your TOEFL preparation? And I'm particularly interested in the following. What kind of reading, listening, speaking, and writing practice did you do, and how long did you do it before you started your TOEFL preparation? Does that make sense? So I think it's important for students to understand where you're coming from. So how much English, or how many years of English did you study? For example, how long have you been using English, if you can remember? Has it been 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, more than 10 years? So approximately how long have you been using the English language? Now remember, I'm not talking about TOEFL preparation. I'm just talking about using English on a daily, weekly, monthly, or yearly basis. All right, so that would be my first big question for you, because students need to understand that it's not just important to study for the TOEFL, but more importantly, it's important to use the language for an extended period of time. All right, so that's my first area, and you can answer these questions by video if you like. Now here's my next set of questions. These questions relate specifically to your 1 week of preparation. So what types of things did you do during your 1 week of preparation? For example, did you complete any writing practice tests? Did you do any speaking practice tests? Did you do any reading or listening practice? What types of resources did you use? I know that you say you use some of my 7-step system videos on YouTube, so you use some of that. In addition to that, what else did you do? Did you go to ETS? Did you take a practice test from those guys? And so on. So that's the next idea. So again, any tips that you want to include, you can include them in here. So your tips can relate to two areas. One is, what kinds of things do you recommend that students do in the months or even years leading up to their TOEFL exam? And the second thing, what tips do you recommend for students who are preparing for the TOEFL right now? What kinds of things do you think they should do that will be effective in helping them effectively prepare for the exam? Now, my last question relates to your actual TOEFL test-taking experience. So any tips that you'd like to give here? So my question here is, what types of tips do you recommend students when they do the reading section of the TOEFL exam? What are some things you think they should or should not do when they're doing the reading part of the exam? For example, do you recommend any note-taking? Do you think it's important for students to take notes during the reading? How do you recommend students in terms of answering the questions during the reading section of the exam? For example, is it better to read the passage before answering the questions, or do you think students should look at the questions and then go to the reading passage after that? The next area is the listening section of the exam. What kinds of tips do you recommend students who are taking the listening section of the TOEFL exam? What are some things that you think students should or should not do? For example, do you think it's important for students to take notes during the listening section of the exam? Number 3, speaking. Everybody wants to know here. You got 30 points out of 30. You kidding me? So the question here would be, we know that there are 6 speaking tasks during the TOEFL exam. We have independent speaking tasks. We have integrated speaking tasks. What are some things that you think students should do as they complete the speaking section of the exam? I mean, let's face it here. You got 30 points out of 30. You know what that means? That means that you got a score of 4 out of 4 on all 6 speaking tasks. How did you do that? How can other students get a higher score during the speaking section of the exam? And then the last thing, again, you got a perfect score on the writing section. You got 30 points out of 30. Wow. That's all I can say about that. So the question here is, when you're doing the integrated and the independent writing tasks, what are some tips that you think are important for students when they are taking the TOEFL exam? All right, so those are my questions. So I apologize. These are a lot of questions. I know it's a lot of information here, so if you want to do these by writing, you can do that, or a faster way would be like what I do, is to simply answer all these questions by video. Then you can upload the video to a location, and then you can send me the download link, and I can download it from there. So anyway, congratulations again to you. You did a wonderful job on the TOEFL exam, and you know what? This is a good Christmas gift for me, because I feel I know that I cannot take 100% responsibility for your high score. Obviously, it's all you. It's you did the preparation. You had the English background to achieve this score. You had the motivation. But still, you sent me a message, and you said that you watched some of my videos, and then you came back to tell me what your score was. So this makes me very happy. And thank you very much for doing that, by the way. Alrighty. Anyway, have a great day, and thank you for sharing your score with me today. And have a great holiday season. Merry Christmas to you. And also, I wish you a very happy New Year.